Hello everyone, this is Javamonk, and welcome to episode 81 of this survival series. So, last episode we built a giant evil tower, and it looks awesome. So, this episode we're gonna return to the mansion and do a little bit of decoration. But it seems every time I do this kind of decoration episodes related to the mansion, nothing ever goes to plan, and this is no exception. Yeah, I lost a bet to my little brother, and he is a fan of Batman, and so he kind of activated this thing called Batman mode. It uses a texture pack, but it also changes the language, so it's a trolling texture pack. So there's the difficulty slider, every single menu option changed to I'm Batman, so it is pretty much impossible to tell what is going on. So if I look inside a shulker box, I can't tell what's in there. So this is going to be difficult. And the task we have today is to, well, make the drop from the mansion a little bit nicer, as well as clear out as much of this area as possible so it doesn't look, maybe remove most of the abandoned mine shaft. And I'm gonna have to do that with Batman mode activated. Oh, and every sound is a sound clip from the channel How It Should Have Ended. Just one little bit of their Batman character saying, I'm Batman. Take a listen.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
Yup. I'm going to be dealing with that all episode. This'll be fun. And now, the abandoned mineshaft is gone. So, I'm gonna... Whoa. Okay. That was unexpected.
I'm Batman.
So, I started putting purple blocks in the walls. I'm attempting once again to build with purple. We'll see how this goes. So, the space that is cleared out goes from the cave spider farm, built back in, I don't know how many episodes ago. But here's the AFK spot. And also over here is a room that I've not shown off in a very, very long time. This is actually intended to be some sort of secret room, like secret from even you guys, but now I've kind of figured out a different purpose for this place. And I can't decide if I'm gonna make it fill that purpose now or later. Yeah. The thing is, the Batman texture pack, it's not really been a hindrance on any decisions I've made. The only issue is, because every sound is saying I'm Batman, I don't even know what is making that sound. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that's music. There we go. If I turn on subtitles, it just so happens that I know where the buttons are. But even the subtitles are no help whatsoever. So, also, the advancements are no help at all. Also, all the grass and leaves are orange for some reason. I think we're going to give a purpose to this room next episode. This episode we're going to focus entirely on this interior building. And I also dug out the floor space here because I want to do something cool with this floor. See, there's glazed terracotta over here, but I think we can extend out we can make a glazed terracotta pattern on the floor here. It'd be really, really cool. Also, I think I found the source of the lag. At least, quite a bit of the lag. It's not the hoppers, it's not the chests. It's these hopper minecarts. These hopper minecarts are causing so much lag. And so I'm just going to wait for them all to empty out before I break them all. But this will probably be the last time that these hopper minecarts are actually are used. Also, I expanded out the soul sand elevator just a little bit so that it lines up with the floor, or at least with the intended floor. And I think to remove lag some more, I'm gonna remove the hopper mine. Whoa, that looks really weird. I think I'm just gonna remove the. Whoa. I'm gonna remove the hopper minecarts from here as well, from this spot right here in the command room. Instead, they're just gonna be normal hoppers. Goodbye, hopper minecarts.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
What? Why did that Why is that armor stand jumping? That makes no sense. Okay then. Certainly did not expect that, but okay, looks like we got jumping armor stands now. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of the lag now. So, I already removed the hopper minecarts from up in the mansion. So now, let's remove these hopper minecarts. So, here we go.
I'm Batman.
And there goes, hopefully, most of the lag. That is a lot of material. Okay, this is why I brought Shulkerbox with me. And this is a really funny noise. Oh my golly, I can already feel the difference in the lag. So, the fact that there really isn't all that much lag anymore. So, the only remaining lag, from what I can tell, is in the item frames, the chests, and possibly the hoppers. I'm still not entirely sure if hoppers are actually the culprit, and if they are, I honestly have no idea what to do. So, that's where you guys come in. What do I do here? Because I'm not... Even if hoppers are the actual culprit for most of this lag, then what do I do about it? Okay. Now let's put in... Now that there's a lot less lag, let's finish up with the walls, and maybe start working on a ceiling and floor, as well as something to put into this gigantic room. Okay, we have a ceiling to this big room that we just dug out, and I don't know, I actually kind of like how the bathroom tile look to this thing. So I think we can top off this bathroom tile and kind of purple walls. I think we can top that off with tacky 90s wallpaper blocks, aka glazed terracotta. So I think we can make some sort of pattern with this. Let's see how it turns out. I think this is a good looking floor, sort of. So I'm right now working on embedding lights into the ceiling to make sure that this floor is completely spawn-proof. But this AFK spot for cave spiders is dark. At least the area where the spawner is dark. So that's cool. And also, we've now emptied all the shulker boxes into the bulk storage room. It's not so I'm not gonna have any super speed loaders anymore, which is kind of sad, but hopefully instead we get less lag. Next up, we need to protect this drop here, because there's a couple times I was dropping through, and in the split second I was falling, a skeleton could shoot me occasionally. Or sometimes I don't know why, but sometimes I would just miss the hole. So, I think it'd be really cool if we put in some sort of psychedelic drop, taking advantage of jack-o'-lanterns. So, this is also a block that I've never really built with. But here we are, building with jack-o'-lanterns. They're a really cool light source as well, so I think I can use the pumpkin texture as some sort of, I guess, a backdrop or something. I'm not sure what that would be called, but it'd be like that would be the walls of the drop, and then the actual face of the jack-o'-lantern goes up in a spiral. Okay, this is super cool now. So I can just walk up in here, got the crazy room here, and the drop down to the bulk storage room now looks much better. And is also much safer. So let's just fly right up here. There we go. And then press this button to get out. There we go. And now, Whoa, that looks really weird. Okay, so now let's just wait for the hole to close up. And now dropping down is our psychedelic swirl. Check this out.
I'm Batman.
That is super cool. So, that is pretty awesome. So, I think the next thing we need to do is address this. You can't actually see it with this texture pack on because the English language was changed, but quite a few of these chests are filled with shulker boxes full of melon slices. So, a melon farm has been hyper productive. I've had to refill that chest up there with shulker boxes like 5 times already. So, I think what would be really cool is if we put in a mechanism to basically bulk craft melons and other blocks that can be bulk crafted. And I get the fact that there's already something like that in the Nether, but it'd be really cool to have something in the overworld as well. Everything is now built up, so we have 2 levers. One that will basically pop off and bring in new shulker boxes, because after all, this bulk crafter will only work with shulker boxes. And then this lever, I pull that and it activates all the droppers.
I'm Batman.
And in this case, spams the dropper noise.
I'm Batman.
So, let's actually do a full test of this thing. This one you just flick the lever and that'll pop in new shulker boxes. So, let's actually test this thing out. Let's first drop off the stone and diorite. There we go. So since this is practically in an emergency situation, because seriously, look how many shulker boxes I have. So let's fill up this chest minecart, because that's what that is, and give it a go. Here we are. Okay, the hopper minecart returned empty, so I think that's a good thing. Let's now flick the lever and pop out all the shulker boxes. Hopefully that actually makes the shulker boxes appear. And if not, then flicking this lever will just spit me out a whole bunch of shulker boxes. Here we go.
I'm Batman.
It works. Oh my golly. This is incredible. So now I can just craft up melon blocks. Looks like some of the shulker boxes are actually ones with melon blocks. So you can't tell. Okay. Here we go. This is really cool. Because now we have a system to basically bulk craft melons. Super awesome. I'm just gonna craft through all these shulker boxes. So now that there's some machines on this wall over here, so it's not a completely barren wall, now we should put something on this side of the room. And I have just the thing. We're gonna flex some of I guess, poetry muscles. So, on this wall here, I would like to build a system to basically dispense out a poem. Now, I'm thinking with several droppers, I could choose between a limerick or a haiku. Now, limericks are 5-line poems that usually have a nice rhythm to it. Doesn't necessarily have to rhyme, and I'll just pick out different lines from different limericks. And haikus are poems that basically, there are 3 lines. The first line has 5 syllables, second line has 7 syllables, and then the third line has 5 syllables again. So, I don't want the droppers to be visible. That's going to be the big challenge here. So, I think we can actually have the poems come directly from this wall here. Or, like, pop out of this wall. Let's see how this actually works. So if I understand items correctly, then I can do something like this. So let's see. Let's actually just break these blocks here. I'm going to do a quick test to see if this idea will actually work. What I'm hoping will happen is basically items will come flying out of the wall when I press a button. So let me just cover up these droppers. There we go. And as long as it's just a 1 block thick wall, the items should go flying out, not up. So let's just plop a stone block in here, because stone is absolutely everywhere. And let's just grab a button. Here we go. So much lag. Unbelievable. So let's just pop a button right there, and stone block. Okay. So it works. Okay, so the concept works. So now we can actually make this a machine. So here we go. First off, we need a randomizer. Basically a 2-option selector, one to generate a haiku, one to generate a limerick. So here's the system. We have this dropper randomizer right here. This will bring up a 50-50 chance of generating a 5-line limerick or a 3-line haiku. Now here's the thing. I'm going to put pieces of paper into those droppers. And in order for the limerick / haiku to even work properly, they need to come out of this dropper in the correct order. So order does actually matter. So here's what I'm going to test now. So I'm going to put 5 items into these 5 droppers because they're the ones that have been rigged up so far. They are oak, stone, coal, redstone, and a hopper. Or, as it's shown in this resource pack, I'm Batman, I'm Batman, I'm Batman, I'm Batman, and I'm Batman. So let me just save a screenshot of that. So I'm going to put... So what should happen is I'm going to get these items in the reverse order that I just showed. I'm going to get the hopper first, then the redstone, then the coal ore, then the stone, and then the oak planks. Yes, I just plucked random things from my inventory. Okay, let me just plop a random item into this dropper, one that's not stackable. And here we go. Moment of truth. Okay, here come the items, I hope. And... Okay, I'm sure it actually spit it out in the correct order, but I wasn't actually prepared. Okay, let's do that test again. Okay, now for the actual test. Now that my inventory is pretty much clear of the crap that I had in there before that would actually stack up with the items that I had. So let me just pull up the screenshot I just made, and now let's press this button and see if I actually get those items in the order that I put them in, or in this case, reversed order. Here we go. Hopper, redstone, coal, stone, oak planks. That is the reverse order that I had them in the screenshot. So that is perfect. So sweet. That's awesome. Let's also test out the haiku generator here. So in this case, I'm going to do it should pop out items in the order of, in this order, hopper, redstone, coal. And let's also remove this stackable item, put an unstackable one in there. And now, let's test it. So it should be hopper, redstone, coal. Here we go. And... Hopper, redstone, coal. Perfect. Okay. So now we have the... So it looks like the generator for the haikus and limericks are now in place. So now I actually got to get a bunch of pieces of paper and name them based on lines from haikus and limericks. So I'm going to come up with a few. So now I have 3 limericks. Here's one of them. There once was a senior of old, who they broke away from the fold. he won't give you up, he won't let you down, in a word you've been limerick rolled. Second one, a canner exceedingly canny, one morning remarked to his granny, a canner can anything that he can, but a canner can't can he? So then there once was a man from Purdue whose limerick stopped at line 2, and then blank blank blank. And actually, oh, okay, so they do stack together. And then there's this one, I need a front door for my hall, the replacement I bought was too small, so I hacked it and chopped it, was too tall, sorry. So I hacked it and chopped it, and carefully lopped it, and now the thing is too small. So I'm going to put these limericks into these droppers here, and what's going to happen is each of these lines are just going to mash together into, so that way every time I press the button, I'm just going to get a random collection of lines that make no sense together. Which is why the limericks that I'm choosing don't actually require the lines to be put in any order. So here we go. There we go. Let's just remove the stone block from this dropper there, because I don't want stone to be dropping in. So this is going to be the... Actually, that's incorrect. That's supposed to be the first line of each of these limericks. So it should not be... So it should be coming in order from right to left. Here we go. I'll figure this out. A little while later, and 4.5 anvils later, we now have all of the limericks ready. So I'm going to put them into the droppers. I revealed the first batch of limericks, but that's all I'm going to reveal. All of the other lyrics, I'm just going to keep secret. And this way, at the start of every episode, I'm just going to press this button to get a limerick. And I'm thinking actually changing this up a bit, so that way, instead of it randomly giving me a limerick or a haiku, it gives me both. So I press the button twice, to get one to get the limerick, and one to get the haiku. Okay, here is the first batch of haikus. So we have, haikus are easy, but sometimes they don't make sense. Refrigerator. You can count the syllables if you want to. That's up to you. Then we have, world is vast and wide, so much out there to explore. Right now, let's eat lunch. And then, I think haikus suck. Has to be 575. Who came up with this? And then, 5 syllables here, 7 more syllables here. Are you happy now? How much can I fit into a haiku format? Oh no, I'm out of... So there you go. And then the last one, let's speak only in haikus for the entire day. That's ridiculous. So, I'm going to put these into the droppers designed to spit out the haikus. And then I'm going to change up the redstone so that instead of a randomizer, we're instead going to be given... You instead push the button twice to get both a limerick and a haiku. We're down to the last anvil, and I still got a bunch more haikus to make. And yeah, I refilled in my experience here by the gold farm. There's one haiku that I found that I must share, even though it's not part of the first batch. It's, there was a young man from Quirk who got limericks and haikus confused. So, if you read it like a limerick, it's, there was a young man from Quirk who got limericks and haikus confused. But since it's broken out in the haiku format, it actually is pretty funny. Okay, next batches, here we come. Remember when I stacked 5 anvils on top of each other on this piston arm? And then said, I quite remember it distinctly that, pretty sure I said something like, this is more than enough to last me the entire rest of the series. Yeah, here I am refilling on anvils, because this one is pretty close to breaking. Yeah. Anvils are ridiculously expensive. So I replaced the randomizer with this thing here, which is basically just a T flip-flop. So when I press that button, in this case, it'll generate a haiku. And then I can press the button again, and it'll generate a limerick. So, tell you what, I'm going to start doing that at the beginning of every single episode. So let me just place a sign down to actually, so that I remember what the button does. Here we go. So all you gotta do is press it twice to get both a limerick and a haiku, and that's what I'm gonna do at the start of every single episode. So press twice for haiku and limerick. There we go. So all that tradition is going to start with this episode. Time to press for a haiku and a limerick. So what is a limerick? What is a haiku? Here we go. Any minute now. It'd actually be really nice if I put a block in front of the dropper. Yeah, there's the dropper. Okay. A haiku is: how much can I fit in a haiku factory? Save me before they... Okay. Nice haiku there. Let's actually, real quick, I think maybe a redstone lamp would actually be a good idea. Here we go. So that'll tell us where the haiku or limerick is going to pop out. So I think it'd also be really good if we put in a chest to store all the leftover pieces of paper that it spits out. So let's do that. We can use a trap chest. I think we should have 3, one for haikus, one for limericks. And they should be labeled. So that was our haiku for this episode. And now for the limerick. Let's see what comes up. Just listen for the I'm Batman. There we go. And now, our limerick is: there once was a fly on the wall, except when he takes a dip. He said with a sigh, he won't let you down, and now the thing is too small. Yep. So that's going to be a tradition to, at the start of, sometime during the episode, I'm just going to press that button, because I spend most of my time going back and forth between the box storage room anyway, so, except for cases where I'm like 40,000 blocks away, in which case I'll just catch up on all the limericks and haikus that I missed during those episodes. So, I think that will do it for this episode. We built up and decorated this entire room, plus this aforementioned haiku and limerick generator, plus this bulk crafter. So, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please let me know. And next episode, we're going to come back to this area and finish going to be a 2-part episode. So part 1 was this room that's totally forgotten. And now, next episode, we're going to be working with this room in here, as well as this room in here. That's right. Next episode, we're going to be working in the bulk storage room, and hopefully by then, well, by that time, the bet with my little brother will be over, and I can finally remove the Batman texture pack. See you next episode.